Hi again, this is Cable Extra Much here. Today's day is the 3rd of March 2022. Or was it 2023 then? Yeah. So I'm covering a topic that I came across a story yesterday from one of my relatives. They seem to. They got the idea that before I get into the story, they got the idea that the story is factual. But I told them, no, it's not that. It's not that. No. This is a bullshit story by the numbers, and I'm going to show you right now what I'm talking about. Ukraine invasion from Sky News. British man willing to take up arms after driving across Europe to be with his family. And notice the time of this, how long this video is. I played a bit of it before I started this decode. 5 minutes and 40 seconds. 5-4. That's Jesuit Auto 54. That, if you understand geometry, the password code numbers into words, you know this is a bullshit story. 100% willing to take up arms. Notice how they highlight for certain phrases and words, right? Willing, 100% willing, 100% willing. You know, he's from Manchester. Travel to Nikopol, eastern part of Ukraine. I need to bear arms. Blah 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 blah. This story comes on a date of 47 numerology. Ukraine's 47, government's 47, agents 47, and using the clone of Gematria calculator, because it's a clone version I'm using. Excuse me. Ian Umney in Gematria is 42, like Freemason 42. Masonry is 33, like Ian Umney 33, as I can show you right here. Basically this calculator I'm using, it has all these ciphers that are visible. This is not every cipher on the website. This is all the ciphers that they have shown up on the home page. Ian Umney 42, Freemason 42, Ian Umney 39, like Masonry 39, Ian Umney 96, like Freemason 96, Freemason 96, Ian Umney 96, Freemason 33, like Masonry 33. He is an actor, a Masonic actor, reading off a script. Excuse me. He's engaged in a psyop, and the word willing is 40, and Zionist is 40. It's a Zionist Jesuits engages psychological warfare against his people. This is an example of what David said about don't trust either media, Russian or British media. They might disguise information as disinformation, disinformation as information. Well, this is an example of information as disinformation, because that's what it is. This is disinformation. A lot of the stories is disinformation. 100% willing, 131. Reflection 113, like bullshit 113. See right here. Date of is 47, as I mentioned. Ukraine 47, government 47, agents 47. This story happens 110 days before Boris Johnson's next birthday. A bit of 9/11 mockery. We all remember that the Twin Towers had 110 floors. And Ukraine in reverse ordinal is 110. Hence, that's why you get the story 110 days from Boris Johnson's birthday. Nikopol in Gematria, which is where he's going to in Ukraine, is 112. Theaters 112. Nepal and Willing are both 86. At Blood Sacrifice 86. Show you once again how these numbers match up. I think I got it twice, haven't I? Better delete this one. I came across this website. If I click on it now. Yes, I can click on it, yeah. If you want to know what's happening in Ukraine, it's best advised to find any live streams, really. Because all the footage that we get, so far has been, you know, recorded. So it's difficult to know what really is happening. Some people are dying in this conflict, of course, like in every conflict, but the footage that they're giving us is because all this whole conflict is bad. Reports of, you know, helicopters getting shot, Russia getting battered by Ukraine on this side as well. And this looks like it's funny again. Jimmy Rabbits, he gave me this link. Apparently, someone put this up. Credits to someone here that put it up. 18 movie studios in Kiev alone, a city of less than 3 million people. Yet all the propaganda being spread of horrible war footage, which is being recycled as US-led war in 2014, which is Ukraine. That's what they're talking about. It shows nothing happening. So I'm going to play this again. Anytime I play this clip, I've yet to see any footage, any live footage of any Russian troops, Ukrainian troops, Russian planes, Ukrainian planes, any anything suggests that there's a conflict going on. So it's not there isn't. I'm sure there is a conflict. It seems it's for the most part, and when we don't play it, we're just faking footage. All footage seems to be controlled by the Russians. So that's enough of that. And this is what Jimmy Rabbits. You think this is what he thinks, but and I responded by saying I think Russia wants to be blamed, as suggested by some researchers. That's what the elite seem to be doing. The New World Order is that they want Russia to be blamed, so that their role in this whole conflict is always covered up, it seems. So I'll just read what Jimmy Rabbit said. I think it's closer to the truth that the Ukraine are killing their own and blaming the Russians. Too much fake propaganda, photoshopped tanks, crisis actors, cardboard guns. And that's just the first week of the conflict. Well, what he just said here about fake propaganda, photoshopped tanks, crisis actors. There seems to be a lot of that, because there was one about this Ukrainian woman saying that she's fighting for the New World Order because she wants to fight against Russia, fighting for the New World Order. Another indirect Ukraine story: Abramovich, Putin's handler, well, one of his handlers, decides to sell Chelsea Football Club. I'll talk about that in a later decode. Here he is flying out, which happened the 1st of March. The Ukraine invasion, which was what headlined Sky News, is 77. Ukraine invasion is also 74. Killing 74. Masonic 74. Zionist 77. Power 77. Judas 77. And by the way, luckily I did you know, trim this down to so you to see the so you see the word and number. This is the Gematria calculator clone that I'm using, and these ciphers turn up visible, so they're already there. So like I said, Ukraine invasion 74 and 77. 77, Power 77, as I mentioned. Theatre is also 77, I forgot to put that in. If any doubts of this so look there, 77 again. It is theatre. We're watching a movie. It's like Wag the Dog we're watching. Where it's like I mean, there's even a clip I want to play. It's from what's his name? Industry. I think it's right here. Very good. I mean, it's a very quick video talking about international bankers.
He confirms that a financial elite engineered every war in depression and modern history, and continues to condition our beliefs and behavior.
World War I, we had World War II, we had South Korean War, and then we had Vietnam.
Well, John, you have to understand what wars are. Wars are carefully staged productions. Now, these are all carefully staged, and they did what they were supposed to do, and they had a good audience, and so I think they were successful. But to say that these wars were about anything, that they had some particular philosophy of government opposing another philosophy of government is total nonsense. These were world order productions, and as I say, they were carefully staged. Both sides were set up.
He confirms that a financial elite engineered every war in depression and modern history, and continues to condition our beliefs and behavior.
I mean, if that's not clear to you, then I don't know what is, because he's trying to say. I was Eustace Mullers, by the way. He's the author of The Secrets of the Federal Reserve. You might have heard of him. He's trying to say that, you know, that every war is a staged production. While every conflict, people are dying. People are dying, and they are dying. It's just a question of how. It's a question of how many are dying, and by who. And I just want to say something else. Is that I don't side with anyone in this conflict, because taking sides is a form of stupidity, because you're assuming that one side is good or one side is bad, when the reality is they're not. This is what Russia and British media won't tell you, both medias. You might see that Russian media is very good at exposing the Western foreign policy is very, very bad or evil, it seems. But end of the day, they are working for the same people, which is the Zionist Jesuits, the Roman Catholic Church, the Chabad Lubavitch, the New World Order. So it's not like there's like a kind of, oh, this side is good, this side is bad. I mean, on the one hand, you got Putin that is, this Christian conservative type guy when he's not. Then you got Zelensky, who's the president of Ukraine, who's called a hero, but the guy's a fucking actor who played a president years ago before he became president, and he was dancing on ice, the Ukrainian one. So again, why would you believe that he's sincere? Okay, it's not there. What the hell's going on? Can't seem to go on his website. I'm trying to read a brief description of what I'm talking about, which is that the whole thing was a stage. The collapse of the Soviet Union. I hate these fucking ads. Just looking for something here. Okay, here we go. This is what I want to talk about. So the perestroika deception by Anatoly Golitsyn. While this guy exposed how the Soviets faked their demise, which is what I believe happened. I honestly think that he might be controlled to some extent because he didn't really expose it. I mean, he could have carried on exposing it, but he stopped after a while. After his books came out, we never seen him again. It says reformist guides, rebellions and wars have been promoted and the church persecuted in order that the communist goal of world domination is finally achieved. They say it's 94% accurate about what's been happening. All the recent changes in the communist bloc, including economic and political reforms, the rise of solidarity, the removal of Berlin Wall, the reunification of Germany, and the collapse of the Soviet Union, reinforces the contention that were meticulously planned years in advance, explain how they fit into a devious Lenin strategy for achieving with Western corporations a one-world communist government, basically a new world order. Doesn't matter if it's a fascist world order or a communist world order. Run by the Russians by 2080, obviously that's not happened yet anyway. The reason why I say that the whole collapse of the Soviet Union was a stage was because in order to keep their power, they gotta fake their demise, the Soviet Union. Now maybe it's not the Soviet Union anymore, but what's happened is they've kept their power. They've gone through this change, this cosmetic change, from communist to free market system kind of thing, to democracy. Democracy is just a form of tyranny, by the way. It's more deceptive than a communist state or a Nazi state, fascist state. More deceptive because in democracy you can do things and they say, oh, it's democracy. Like, oh, they pass a law that might be anti-democratic. They call it. They'll say, oh, we live in a democracy. We vote for laws that we think are best for the country. Like, restrictions on lockdowns or COVID lockdowns or whatever. But that's a different story. I mean, Putin, easy to find, he is KGB. I mean, here he is. I mean, this guy is a very good actor because he's playing the role of a nationalist or a villain, you could say, depending on how you look at it. He was in KGB, FSB, Russian Armed Services, as this guy. Spent 16 years there. He was the director of the FSB. So basically, it's like Excuse me. Basically, he's like saying that he's the head of MI6 or MI5, and he's president. I mean, KGB's now known as the Federal Security Forces. But understand this: FSB, KGB, CIA, MI6, Mossad, they're all the same. Look, FSB is 54. And you know where I'm going with this. FSB, should go back to capitals, but never mind. FSB is 54, Jesuit Order 54, so undoubtedly they all spawn the same New World umbrella. Zionist Jesuit New World Order. I think I'm gonna call it a day. So like I said, it's fake demise. It was a fake demise. Communism died, probably, but the tyranny remained, which is what, that's how I view the collapse of the Soviet Union. The same people that ran it. And by the way, for those you don't know, it was a stage. The whole call was a staged event, because despite what you think, and actually, I really wanted to bring this up. Anthony Sutton. He's got something on it. I'm trying to find it now. In one of his books, he talks about how during the Cold War. Oh, where's the book? It's here somewhere. This book here. I'll point an image out. This book describes how throughout the time of the Soviet Union, the Western technology was being transferred to Soviet Union from the United States of America, which in turn built its army, its military, its technology, its weapons, the whole lot. That's why now you might think they got formidable military. Why? Because it was given to them. It was the same thing with the Nazis. They built them up as well. They did it with China. They built them up as well. Sutton talked about building up China. The purpose, according to him, is conflict management, which is what he was doing.
This program brought to you by...
I think is only due to be released this week. Now, it should be easy for an author to talk about his own book. And usually I think it is. But this one is difficult, because if ever an author did not want to write a book, I am that author, and that is this book. The book itself is a book of facts. There's an introduction. There's chapter 13, where I draw together some threads and conclusions. But essentially, it is empirical observation. And in my experience, I've worked on this thing for 15 years now. Nobody has yet challenged me on the basis of fact. Nobody And my visitors include visitors from the Soviet Union, from Poland, from the Pentagon, all over. No one has yet said Sutton is wrong on a fact. And if you ever hear of anyone, I'd like to talk to that person. Now, how can I summarize 15 years in, what have you given me, 1 hour? I'll do my best. Let me first go back 15 years and tell you how I came to write National Suicide. In other words, paint the background to this picture. And then, very briefly, I'll tell you what the book is about, and if we have any time left, perhaps I'll try and fill in some of your questions. That the Soviet military-industrial complex also originated in the West. Not only the economy, but the military aspect.
There you go. Fortunately, I haven't got time to play other parts of it, but basically, you heard him say it. He was a great researcher. I mean, a lot of the information we get about, you know, wars being financed, both sides of a conflict, stem from him. You know, in his opinion, they also played a part in Reagan's rise to power. Sorry, not Reagan. FDR, Stalin. Basically, the Bolshevik Revolution, the Nazi Party, FDR. They all came power by the international bankers, as he says. They're the ones that put him in power. I mean, his videos are very educational. So I think I'm gonna call it a day. Now, just wanted to show you that. Maybe in the next video I might elaborate on, you know, I might maybe not, you know, later, but at some point I might elaborate on this topic about, you know, about how they create enemies or fake enemies. So, calling it day. See.